176 million views, 51 million views, 133 million views. AI videos continue to get millions and millions of views on YouTube Shorts every single day. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build this Claude code system that automatically creates them for you to post from a single prompt. Now, before we watch what the system made, let's watch this 176 million view YouTube short from this channel, AI Digi Chaos. Now, the audio is muted for copyright reasons, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So the dog is letting him know of the danger. He goes to save the dog, brings it down, and then everyone's happy, and that's the video. Now let's go to Claude Code, the file that it sent back, that it generated after we sent the command. Let's open this link up. And there you go. We have people in my community getting millions of views with AI content like this on YouTube Shorts. Maruis got 5 million views on an AI video on his channel, and he also got accepted into the YouTube Partner Program as well. So you can see how a YouTube Short with 176 million views could be monetized through YouTube Shorts. One important note is that these videos use a copyrighted song called Cornfield Chase. Now, you will need to post these videos from your phone, which you can do because Claude sends you a link. The project sends you a link that you can download to your phone and post from there. And then when you post it from your phone, you can select this song and the YouTube short can still be monetized. So what are the costs associated? So Claude Code is $20 per month, but if you're into Claude Code, you probably already have that. So the only costs for the videos are the images which are used in creating the videos, which are 18 cents for the 3 images. And the videos themselves, since they're 34 seconds long, Seedance 2.0 is a more expensive model because it's higher quality. It is 24 cents per second. So for a 34-cent video, it is $8.16. However, keep in mind, there is the potential upside, and you're not paying for a video editor. You're not editing the video yourself. All you're doing is clicking enter, and that's what you're paying for. All right, now before we get into building it from scratch, I'm in my school here, and we're just gonna demonstrate how it works. So I'm gonna download the project here and download. Now I'm going to select it here in Claude, and we are good to go. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type /generate a video and hit enter, and it will start generating the video. All right, so our video is finished. We have our link here. We can click this to open it up, and there is our complete video. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a blank folder in Claude, and we're gonna make Claude replicate this entire project from scratch. Keep in mind, it doesn't only make the golden retriever saving the other dog from behind the truck videos, because it will randomly select an idea from a list that it creates. So you can add your own ideas to that list from those channels that were viral already. So here we are in Claude Code. If you've never used Claude Code before, I will leave a link to a Claude Code beginner guide, everything you need to know in the description, how to set it up, anything you need to install. That will be in the description, okay? Now, here we are in Claude Code, so we're gonna select a new folder. So I'm gonna click select folder, choose a different folder. I'm gonna find on my computer where I wanna save it. It can be literally anywhere. Just right click, go new, and make a new folder. Okay, so I have my spot here, and I'm going to click select folder. Now, I have a massive prompt that I designed for it to do this almost in one shot. All we have it do is ask us some clarifying questions so that it can make sure that it's going to build it properly before it starts building it. And I'll explain this prompt as simple as possible in a second once we send it off. But what you're going to want to do is go into ChatGPT, and if you take a screenshot of this and put it into ChatGPT, you can get this text and you can get this prompt, okay? So go ahead and screenshot there, and I will scroll down and screenshot there. Put both of those into ChatGPT, ask it for the text, and then you can paste that into your Claude code and run it just like I do, okay? So once you've done that and you've pasted it in, again, make sure you're on bypass permissions. This is all covered in my beginner Claude Code video. You're going to want to go ahead and send that off and trust Workspace. Now, while that's running, let's go over a little quick explanation of how this actually works. So I've made this diagram here with AI, and the green, so the start is when you hit enter on the command. And then what's going to happen is the green are images, the blue are individual videos, and the red is the final video. And Claude is doing all of this for you. So for each of the images, the first image is the hook. It's that initial with the dog on the back of the truck, which will be turned into a video. Then the next image it's an image with 6 grids. And in each grid, something new is happening in the story. And that is going to be fed down here in the blue to Seedance, and Seedance will animate each individual one. And the same thing happens on the right over here. And then once it has all of those pieces, it's going to combine them into one final video. And the images, each picture is generated with a reference of the last picture. So that makes sure that the farmer looks the same in the other image. All right, now Claude is going to ask you some questions to make sure that it builds it right before it starts. Okay? So you just need to answer each question. Yours might look a little bit different to mine. If you don't know how to answer the question, you can ask for clarification, okay? Or you can leave a comment down below. Now, so it says, because we're asking it to generate a title for us so that we can just copy the title when we post the video from our phone. Does it mean Claude uses this example titles in the text file as style references and generates a brand new title, or it literally picks one of the example titles? We're going to say A. Okay, I'm going to say A. All it's asking is there's going to be a document which has prompts for the images and the videos that we discussed earlier, which I will also give you to copy. And there will be titles in that document, and it's asking if it should just pick one of the titles or if it should use them as a reference to generate new ones. So I said A, so it will use them as a reference to generate a new title each time. All right, so it's asking us about catbox.mo, which is the service that we're using to have the public link, because then you can send the link to yourself on your phone and download it on your phone. And that's what we're using to download the videos from anywhere. So yes, we are referring to catbox.mo. Yes. All right, now this is important. It's asking us about keyframe or reference for the grid videos. Now we need to say reference here. So I'm going to say reference and hit enter. Now this is really important. The reason we need to say reference is because if we use keyframe, the grid image, when we input it to be used to be turned into a video, at the start of that video is going to be the actual grid. And it looks very odd. So if your videos are coming out weird and there's grids in your videos, make sure you talk to Claude and say, make sure to use the reference mode for the videos. Okay? But you should be fine. It should be able to handle it all on its own. All right, it's asking us about catbox.mo. If we want anonymous uploads, no account needed. We're going to say anonymous uploads because we don't want to make an account. It says that it has everything it needs, so now it's going to build the system. All right, mine's just finished and yours should look something like this. It will almost certainly be a little bit different, but it should look a little bit like this. Now, First, we need to make sure our accounts are set up properly. So we're going to go to Google Chrome. You can find a link to Key AI as well as Kenovi AI for the videos in the description. Kenovi AI will give you a free 5-second generation with Seedance 2.0, which is pretty cool. So first, we're going to do Key AI for the images for the videos. So once you're on Key AI, make sure you sign in. On the left over here at billing, this is where you will add some credits. You can add as low as $5 for 1,000 credits. Each video will use 36 credits total. Now, once you've added some credit on the left over here, API keys, you want to click on API keys and click on create new key if you haven't already. Before copying your key, you're going to want to go back into Claude Code, click on copy path at the bottom, click copy path right here, click on your search bar, click Control V and hit enter. This will open up your project files, okay? Now you should see this .env file right here. Go ahead and double click on that. That's going to open it up. And as you can see, you have key API key equals, and it says your key API key here, and then Kenovi API key, which we'll get into after, and your key here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete everything after the equal sign. So you need to leave the equal sign right there. I'm going to go back into Key AI, click copy, come back into Notepad, click here, and then Control V. I'm not going to show my key, but you would just click Control V and it will paste your key after Key API key. Okay, so paste your actual key there. I'm going to write paste just for example. Next, what you need to do is we need our Kenovi API key to generate the video. So we're going to go back to Chrome. We're going to go to Kenovi.ai. Again, link is in the description. And once you're signed in on here, you can buy credits down here at the bottom left by clicking on the credits right here. And this is where you can buy your credits. Okay. Once you've bought some credits over here on the left at API keys, just click on API keys. Now, if you click copy right here, it won't actually copy the full key. It'll only copy this with these little asterisks in it or stars, which isn't the actual key. So you have to make sure you click create new key, give it a name, click create, and then this is your key right here, which you can copy, okay? Now that you've copied that, come back into your .env notepad, come here, right after the equal sign again, delete that, and then paste it right after the equal sign right there. All right, so I'm gonna write, you would click Control V, but I'm gonna write paste as an example. Then, important, you have to go to File, top left, and click on Save, and then you are good to go for your API keys. Now, there's a few other things we have to do before it will work properly. The next thing we have to do is we have to give it ideas to generate for the videos so that the videos are what we want them to be about, which are going off the YouTube channels we talked about earlier. So go back to where your .env file was that we were using earlier, and you should also see a file called video ideas or something along those lines, and it should be a text document, okay? So go ahead and open that up, and inside, you want to look for, it will look a little bit different to mine. You want to look for where it is organized as an idea. So here's mine, and you can tell because it has example idea name at the top, and then it has all the different prompts that it needs to be filled in. And then at the bottom here, it says add more ideas below by copying the block above. So then you can add a bunch of ideas and Claude will pick a random one. Now this looks like a lot, and that's because, yeah, it is. It is a lot of prompts. I set the prompt specifically so that it is accurate each time because it can get messy really quickly. So this is what we're going to do. If you remember earlier how I was talking about copying with ChatGPT, I'm going to open my document here, which has all the complete prompts for that video. It's pretty massive. So I'm going to hide my camera for a second so you can see the whole thing. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So we're going to click here and we're going to search for snipping tool. Click on snipping tool. It'll look something like this. Click on new. And we're going to copy that entire thing, making sure that we get all of it. So you can copy it just on this YouTube video, just like I did. Now that will automatically add it to your clipboard. Okay, that'll automatically add it to your clipboard. So then all you have to do, go to ChatGPT, click here, Control V, and we're going to say, give me this text so that I can copy it. Enter. And then we're going to say, manually transcribe it. Enter. All right, so it's given us the entire thing. It did miss a little bit at the bottom. The last line cuts off, so all I'm going to do is come right back, and we're just going to copy this bit at the bottom here. 4 to 5, we're going to copy that. Give these the rest of the text. See, and now what it's doing is it's giving us the rest from where it cut off right there, so we can copy both. To make things easy, why not? I'm going to say, make it one text that I can copy. Enter. Keep in mind, yours might work better than mine. It might just copy it all in one go. It will help if the video's full screen when you go to copy the text, okay? So now I'm going to click on copy right here to copy all of those prompts. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the same folder with the .env from earlier, the video ideas. We're going to open that text document back up. Okay, so now we're back here. This is your text document. And here is the idea area right here. So we're going to delete this. So now it's just these two lines. And in between them, we're going to go Control V. And now we've pasted in the entire prompt. And the good thing about Claude is even though it's missing some titles, even though it's missing a name, it will still organize it properly and make it work. Okay? So now that we've added our idea, we can go ahead and click File, Save. Okay? So we have one idea. We'll get into how to add more ideas a little bit later. File, Save. All right. So that has been saved. Now, we're going to come back into Claude. And what we're going to do now is this is the final step to get it working. We need to install the dependencies right here. So all we're going to do is we're going to say install any dependencies needed. What we're also going to say is make sure ffmpeg is installed. Now, I already had ffmpeg installed, but you might not have it installed already, but Claude can do that for you. So in the prompt, it asks Claude to use ffmpeg. So when yours was being set up, Claude might have installed it for you or asked you about it. All you've got to do is ask it to install it for you. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow it to combine the videos into one final big video. So I'm just going to say that here just to make sure it is. And we're going to say, make sure ffmpeg is installed and install any dependencies needed. I've added an idea to the ideas document. Organize that document. Okay, so that's just going to make sure that it organizes the idea that we've just added in there. And we're going to hit enter. All right, now it's done everything that it needs to do and made sure that everything is installed. It's asking us to fill in the title examples in the video ideas text document. You can do that if you want to. I'm just going to run it through and it will figure it out on its own. So in order to run the command, we need to restart Claude first. So top left, come up here, go to File, and click on Exit. Then we're just going to open it back up and make sure we select our folder from earlier. So whatever you named it, just find it down here and select it. Then I'm going to open the sidebar, click on all projects right here, and we're going to click on the name of it again. And now we have all our sessions here. So this is where we left off. And I'm going to click on new session. New session. And all we're going to do is try the command /generate a. Okay, so as you can see, it's not showing up. Yours might show up, yours might be working. Mine did not show up. This happens sometimes, okay? All you have to do, go back into your chat and tell it, my command is not showing up even after restarting Claude. Fix it. Enter. And all you have to do is do that enough times, restart it each time, go File, Exit, and when you load it back in, eventually it will fix it and add it to the commands folder properly so that you can run the command. All right, so I've restarted again the same way before after it finished, and I've selected the project down here and up here in the top left. And now if we type /generate a video, there is our command. So we can hit tab to autocomplete and we can give that a shot. Again, make sure you have credits on both Kenovi and Key AI. So I'm going to hit enter to test that out right now. Keep in mind, this will take a long time, around 10 minutes or so, maybe longer, because the images and the videos take a while to generate. All right, so our video is all done. It said that the upload service was down, so it tried a different service. So that's pretty cool. Here is our link to our video. We can click on that and check it out. All right, there we go. So as you can see, there was a small error there. The dog ended up on one side of the truck, which can happen with AI sometimes, but all you would do is just generate it again. And something else to note is that if we go to Kenovi, on the gallery here, this is where you can see all your videos being made. In my particular project, it generated one, and then it waited, and then the next one, and then waited, and then the next one, and it took a really long time. It took about 25 minutes. So in that case, if you saw something like that happening, all you can do is you can say, next time, generate all the videos at the same time to save time, right? And then it will modify it and it will generate them all at the same time to make it all faster. So once you have a video that you're happy with, you can click down here and go download, or you can download it on your phone at the same link. And in your project files, you'll have a videos folder right here, which will automatically save all of your completed videos. Now, for new ideas, if you remember, if we go back to ChatGPT, we have this whole text already here in ChatGPT. Now, let's say we wanted a new idea. Well, if we go to AI DigiChaos, this page, and we go to popular, let's say we wanted to replicate this idea right here, where the dogs basically jump on the train. This one got 113 million views. They jump on the train and they tell the train conductor to slow down because there's a hazard, right? All you would do is come back into ChatGPT. You would say, rewrite the entire prompt. I want the story to be about, and then you would just write whatever you want the story to be about based on the already viral videos. Then it would give you a new prompt. You would copy your new prompt, for example, go back into your Claude project files, open video ideas, scroll down, and as you can see, all you'd have to do is just Shift Enter, add a line, and Control V, and paste your new idea, right? So this is the line break. Right below would be your new prompt that you just got, and right above is our original prompt here. And then you just go File, Save, and then Claude would now have that idea to randomly choose from each time that it generates a video. And one final important point is make sure to go into where you're setting up your project and type /init/init and hit enter. This will make sure that every time you make a new session, it will understand all the context and it will understand your whole project so that when you modify it, it has context to start from. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you got it working. I'm looking forward to the results that you guys get with this, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.